Good evening, everyone. The Rialto Unified School District Board of Education meeting is reconvening at 7:19 p.m. Tonight we have a full board meeting, but first we have two sisters, Brianna and Isabel Herrada, who will lead us in the pledge.
Please stand. Put your right hand over the heart, eyes on the flag, ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Their father will be one of the classified employees who will be getting a certificate tonight. So we're really thankful that you're here to encourage your father to continue doing good work. Okay. We'll have a report out of closed session from Mohammed.
Well, Ms. Gilbert,
There's no,
no action was taken tonight.
and we will be reconvening after the close of this session.
Sorry, I was in and out. That's why I was a little paused.
I'll repeat it if you did not hear me. We will be going back to closed session after we adjourn the meeting, and there's nothing to report. No action was taken. At this time, we will adopt the agenda. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make the motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. May I have a second?
Second.
Ms. O'Kelly, it has been moved and second that we will adopt the agenda. We will start with the preferential vote by our student board member.
Ms. Gilbert, I apologize. We have one item we have to pull.
Okay. Yeah.
What about
Okay.
the correction?
We will have to pull item number J 2.2. It's a personnel matter, so we will be pulling that. Okay. Mr. Montes, did you have a question?
Did we need to adopt the corrected copy?
Okay, we will adopt a corrected copy of public hearing. Any other questions, corrections? Could I get a vote to accept the agenda with corrections? All in favor, starting with the preferential vote by our student board member, Mr. Micah?
Is that an aye?
Yes.
Okay, aye.
Aye. Board members?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Now we will start with item B on our agenda, and that is presentations. And we will start with our DSAC students, and these will be high school students. Mr. St. Andrew.
So we have two of our high school students, our high school DSAC students. First up is Yolanda Magana from Rialto High School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Acting Superintendent Mr. Islam, and viewing audience. My name is Yolanda Magana, and I am from Rialto High School. At Rialto, we are super excited because Knights are excelling in all areas. Senior Kimberly Ross played at Carnegie Hall for the 4th time last week. Our Mesa students dominated at UCR last weekend. We had quite a few students get recognized as a district science fair, and all but one winter sports teams have made it to CIF. We will continue to cheer on our boys soccer team as they enter the 3rd round of playoffs. We also just ended our Battle of the Sexes week on Valentine's Day. The girls dominated once again. We had over 300 people attend our Sadie Hawkins dance at Cal Skate, which was way more than last year. I am happy to report that there were no major injuries, only a few bruises and some sore knees. I would like to thank Ms. Joffrey and Mr. Islam for allowing the DSAC students to visit different district sites. We very much enjoyed the trip, so thank you. Also, Ms. Joffrey has given each school the opportunity to host a luncheon in honor of someone at her school site. It is going to be in honor of Cesar Chavez, and it will be on March 12th. We selected our custodian, Kenny Duran, for all his hard work and support. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
Next, we have Kenya Staley from Carter High School.
Good evening, viewing audience, Honorable Board of Education, and Acting Superintendent Mr. Islam. My name is Kenya Staley, and I am the Senior Class President at Carter High School. Well, what a month it has been for Carter. Earlier this month, our Carter High School wrestling team made history by winning their second CIF title in a row. And this past Saturday, the cheerleaders also made history. We traveled to Las Vegas, Nevada to take on the JAMS national competition and took the title of national champions. This was the first time we took national champions in all of Carter's history. Currently, the students are getting ready and excited to attend our first ever CalSkate Cosmic Skate Night in Grand Terrace. We'll be boogieing on down on March 5th. Thank you for your time and good night.
That's all.
Thank you, Mr. St. Andrew. Thank you, young ladies. Thank you. Now we will honor our own. And at this time, Mrs. O'Kelly and Mr. Montez will have the pleasure. Mrs. O'Kelly, are you
Thank you,
going
Board
to
President.
help him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to stand up there. Let me do mine first.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Rialto Unified School District participated in the annual Classified School Employee of the Year program for 2014. This program highlights the contributions of classified school employees in supporting the education of California's public school students. The overall purpose of the CSEY program is to pay tribute to the tireless efforts of our district's outstanding classified school employees and to identify and honor exemplary classified school employees throughout the district. To be eligible, one must be a full-time or part-time RUSD employee and dedicate a minimum of 5 years of service. RUSD Personnel Department leaders led the recognition process and announced the winners last week. These 6 employees will now be eligible to go on to the county level awards. The nominees selected by the county will be honored and forwarded to the California Department of Education for participation in the state program. Tonight, here are the top 6 RUSD classified employees of 2014. And Ms. O'Kelly will do me the honor of doing 3 after I do my 3. I didn't introduce myself, so for those of you that are here tonight, my name is Edgar Montes, and I'm a board member for Rialto Unified School District, and I just would like to call up Mr. Guy Bruce Berkeley. Guy Bruce Berkeley is a maintenance worker 3 at Carter High School. Oh, no. Okay, sorry about that. He is being honored for 17 years of service. Christian Foote, principal at Carter High School, said, Carter High School is in its 10th year of operation and thousands of students have walked the halls and graced our classrooms. Each day, they are educated on a campus that is well maintained, organized, and functioning in an exceptional condition. The fact that we are fortunate to work in such a beautiful and well-maintained environment is due to the hard work and dedication to one significant person on this campus, Mr. Bruce Burke. E. No L. Burke E. Apologize. It happens to Spanish surnames all the time. Mr. Berkey has a vast knowledge in the area of maintenance and repairs and can respond to any need on campus with a keen eye and confident nature. He cares deeply about his job and at our school, and it shows on a daily basis. If the students and teachers are the heart and soul of a school campus, Bruce Berkey is the backbone. Congratulations, Mr. Berkey. Thank you for everything that you do. And it is my honor and privilege on behalf of the Classified Employees Union to present you with this award. So thank you, sir, for everything that you do. Would you like to call up your family for a picture, and then you can give some words? Okay. All right. Please.
I want to thank board member, cabinet members. I also want to thank my bosses, Christine Foote, my various assistant principals, my coworkers, and my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Now we honor Mr. Mark Rambose. Did I pronounce that right? Mr. Rambose is a custodian 2 at Dollahan Elementary School for 15 years of service. Daniel Husbands, principal of Dollahan Elementary School, stated, "As a principal of Dollahan, I have had the distinct pleasure of working alongside Mark for the previous 3 years. Mark is a tremendous asset to the staff, students, and community at large. Mark comes to school each and every day with a smile on his face, eager to assist and lend a hand whenever needed. Mark has proven to be one of the mainstays and driving forces for Dollahan. Mark exceeds all expectations for those of Custodian 2 and has become a standard for personal work ethic. Mark Rambose takes pride in his work, and it is seen in both his attitude and actions. It is also visible as you walk the campus on a daily basis, seeing the work he has done. Mark is a true asset to the Dollahan community. He is friendly, cooperative, and an overall great guy to work with each and every day. Congratulations, Mr. Rambose." Would you like to call up your family for a picture from the district? A picture, yes. Yes.
That is very cute. Love the flag. It's my new granddaughter.
Would you like to say a few words?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank God and everyone here for participating in this. I'm honored. Mr. Husbands is an amazing administrator. I'm very honored to work for him and his staff. Ms. McIver Brown, former administrator at Kelly Elementary, another amazing administrator. Mr. Crothers, just people in my life throughout these 16 years has just built this path for me, and I'm very honored to receive this award. Thank you so much.
We're lucky to have you. Well said. Well said.
Now, the third person, Lupita Ordonez, is a safety secretary at Preston Elementary School, and we, as much as we would love to honor her tonight, she could not make it here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and perhaps save this for the next board meeting, and we'll make sure she's properly honored. So, Ms. O'Kelly, please.
Okay. Good evening. And we are very excited to honor these employees. Anyone who has ever worked at a school site, especially at a school site, knows how very essential all of our classified people are to our success with our students. So we thank all of them. And we wanted to honor first Linda Stoll. Come on down. It's been a long time since we saw each other, Linda, like 3 days? Yeah, I was just at her school. Linda is a school secretary at Trapp Elementary School and has dedicated 26 years to the RUSD. Roxanne Ulivari, the principal at Trapp Elementary School, stated, "One could write at length about Miss Stoll's unbelievable efficiency, uncommon competency, and her reservoir of energy that would put a toddler to shame." However, as wonderful as those characteristics are, they lack the essence of Mrs. Stoll's noteworthy or most worthy quality, her ability to foster and project the values that lie at the heart of, at the core of Trapp Elementary. Her boundless empathy and compassion for others immediately sets her apart from the interactions that parents, students, and community members seem to be expecting in our me first society. She leads countless district employees to follow proper protocol, to push their level of competency, and to maintain the demeanor of a professional in an educational setting. Mrs. Stoll exemplifies commitment and leadership, and her role at Trapp Elementary is irreplaceable. So you can never retire. Congratulations, Mrs. Stoll. Oh, you want to say a few words and bring your family up?
I'm very honored to have received this award, very touched. And I thank the board, my wonderful principal, incredible staff, wonderful teachers. I'm very blessed, and I thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, Linda. No, you're fine.
Thank you so much.
Excellent support.
Okay, next. Estela Mendoza, come on down. Estela Mendoza is an instructional assistant 2, bilingual at Myers Elementary School. She has dedicated 23 years to the Rialto Unified School District. Kathy Knowles, principal at Myers Elementary School, said, "I feel blessed to be given the opportunity to work with someone who is the model of passion and commitment for student achievement. Estela's outstanding attendance allows her to give consistent support to the kids and staff that she works with. As a bilingual instructional assistant, she has had the opportunity to see students go from arriving at the school with no English skills to being reclassified to leaving in 5th grade with honors. She gets just as excited as the teacher when a student makes progress from her efforts. Her strong work ethic always puts the needs of the students first, and the results show it. Estella leads with her heart. She is very involved with her church and with the Myers community. Her dependability and commitment to her job are something she prides in herself in accomplishing well and with a smile. Congratulations, Mrs. Mendoza. And here we go. We have your certificate. And do you have anyone you would like to bring up? Would you like to say a few words?
I'm just very happy, and I don't have no words to say. So. I'm just very happy, and thanks for your support.
Thank you.
Words were felt by my heart.
Brian Heredia, come on down. How are you? Brian Heredia, Campus Security Officer 1 at Cusera Middle School for 6 years, has been a Campus Security Officer 1 at Cusera Middle School for 6 years. Monique Conway, Principal at Cusera Middle School, stated, Brian contributes to the establishment and maintenance of a safe, tranquil, most days, and disciplined school environment. He ensures the safety of students, staff, and faculty, as well as property. He attends our yearly 8th grade trip to Knott's Berry Farm, and he rides the rides with our special needs students so that they have a safe and enjoyable day. Brian acts as our lead safety officer. He is very effective in handling investigations for theft. He seems to always get the property back. If in any situation arises that needs quick attention and support, I always call for Officer Heredia. Officer Heredia has been instrumental in helping us maintain maintain safety in a loving and caring manner. Congratulations, Officer Heredia. And there we go. And do you have family you would like to bring up? Yes.
Look at the flag.
Oh, okay. We gotta look that way. Great. And please go ahead. Oh, you want to say some words? I'm sorry.
I'm not ready, but thank you, board members. I'd like to thank my family, Casera, who's my family away from my family, Ms. Conway, who I've been working with basically most of my career, Ms. Ennis. Without you guys, I don't think the campus would run smooth. The staff members, my chief now, who actually trained me the first day I arrived. So since then, I've been motivated and worked as he trained me to be. I'd like to thank everybody for this certificate.
Congratulations. What a wonderful family.
Yes, who are you? And I hope all the honorees are still here. We have the pleasure of having Rafael Trujillo here from Norma Torres' office. And Rafael's always late, I know that, so. So I'm going to introduce him now because he has some certificates too.
I want to thank, on behalf of our state senator Norma Torres, I want to thank all the hardworking employees at the school district who support the faculty, the staff, the teachers, and the administrators that we have here. Just very heartfelt thank you for your service. And so we have, in recognition of your hard work and the appreciation that the school board is giving you today, we also have certificates of recognition for you. And if you can all just come right back up. So I have Brian Heredia, Guy, Bruce Berkey. I'll have a picture all together if you want to stay standing right there. And Mark Rambos. Estela Mendoza. Linda Stoll. Lupita. Ordonez.
You guys can come over here all together. We'll get one picture. And I'd like Mr. Trujillo, but I'd also like Mrs. O'Kelly and Mr. Montes because they gave out the awards, please. If you join me real quick, I know this is a live meeting, so have you turn around. I can see your awards. I love Senator Torres' award, but I'd like to see ours too. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the picture, and I'll give it to. There you go. Thank you. Get a little bit closer. That's also saying we really, really like each other a lot. Okay. Let me. Ms. Montez, a little bit closer. There you go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and one more. 1, 2, and 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafael. Please thank the senator for us, and thank you, Board President Joanne Gilbert. Thank you.
Good evening, audience again. At this time, I would like to give a special recognition because we are proud to announce that the California Department of Education has awarded the Rialto Unified School District a $1.5 million professional development award. I repeat, $1.5 million. We are the only district in San Bernardino County to receive this designated science grant, and it's to provide professional development to our teachers who teach grades 3 through 8. And at this time, I want Dr. Ed D'Souza to please join me. I have some nice things to say about Dr. D'Souza, but before I do, I'd just like to say I have known Dr. D'Souza since I've been in the district for over 12 years. And during all of those years, he has always done his best to provide the best service that he can to our district. And he's no stranger to this podium. Last September, he was honored by board member Nancy O'Kelly with the highest honor given in our district, a key to the district. Dr. D'Souza holds 2 master's degrees, one in education technology and another in administration from Azusa Pacific University. In 1999, he earned his PhD in math and education from Claremont Graduate University. He's a 30-year veteran of public education, and of those 30 years, 26 he has devoted to our district. We need to give you a hand for that. He came to our district in 1984 as a math teacher at Kolb Middle School. He worked his way to Dean of Students, opened Coursera Middle School as assistant principal, and served as a principal of Cole Middle School. At one point, he was a director of curriculum for math and science, and later promoted to senior director of the Professional Development Center at the Chavez Huerta Center of Education. This grant that Dr. D'Souza authorized is funded for 3 years, $500,000 each year, beginning July 1, 2014, and ends June 30th, 2017. I'm going to let him talk about the grant. Come on, Dr. D'Souza.
The grant is called RI SMART, which stands for Rialto Integrating Science, Mathematics, and Related Technologies. And it'll focus on science and technology to address the next generation science standards. Those are the standards that are coming down in science, while also integrating mathematics and Common Core literacy standards for science. The main thing is project-based learning modules will be developed so that our teachers will see how the content, science practices, and pedagogy can be woven together. I do want also to say a couple of things. I do want to thank this district for investing in science because, you know, we always invest in language arts and in math, and I do want to thank Dr. Levine because I came to her with the idea, and she took it straight to Mr. Islam, who said we will find the money and gave the green light to go ahead. I also credit Peggy Wheeler, my next door neighbor, who came up with the innovative thing on looking at involving CTE teachers, because one of the things we have to put together at the high school later on is linked learning. So this will help our high school teachers to get that experience because they will be working as trainers in the professional development. So this grant was really teamwork. Also, a person that I would be remiss not to mention is the mayor of Rialto. I visited her first, and she gave her blessings to it, and so I could throw her name all over the place because I had to get community, community. 20 businesses in the community actually signed up that they would help, including both county offices, Riverside and San Bernardino County offices, Cal State, and Cal Poly is the main grantee of this. And Dr. Jody Selko, who has worked many, many years in this district providing staff development. One of the things, and I'm going to pass here, is that we're looking at current problems in our community, which is like the perchlorate problem, which has happened. So we're really looking at project-based learning there, where we're going to look at what was the problem, what's the science related to it, how do we contain it, what's the mathematics involved in it, the statistics, how did we know there was a problem in there, and then the technology involved in probing the area. So we have a lot of creative modules that we hope will touch the interests of kids. The other group that will really learn, it's a group that we have not been able to help, and that's our English language learners. But science more than any other discipline, because of the nature of science, it helps kids to have that hands-on experience. By having that hands-on experience, then they talk about the experiments, and that helps in the language process. And actually, our previous grants have shown that our EL students have grown as a result of doing science. So we're looking at some of those things, and hopefully it'll expand in a few years. And again, I do want to thank everyone who helped in this grant.
Now, you know, I couldn't have explained that as well as you did. So that's why I wanted him to speak, because this is his baby. He took it in his charge and delivered the results of $1.5 million. So on behalf of the board, Dr. D'Souza, we want to give you this certificate of recognition to put on your wall with all the other ones that you've received over the past 26 years. Keep working for our district because we love the results that you get for us. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead.
I'll be banished tomorrow, so I forgot my whole staff who's here tonight, and I do want to thank them. I want to really thank my secretary at that time, who was Julia Bailey, who helped me to put a lot of these things together, and Irene Moss, who's here tonight too. So for my whole staff, I really do want to thank them.
Okay. So we thank the staff of the Professional Development Center. We truly do. Thank you. And Mr. Trujillo has a certificate for you also. And they want to thank this $1 million man, so please walk around with you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. You continue to amaze me.
And now we'll move to a more boring situation, but something that we have to listen to. And the governor's proposed budget for fiscal year 2014 through 15 will be presented by Sharon Flores, Director of Fiscal Services. Sharon.
Good evening. Good evening, Governing Board, President Gilbert, Vice President Ayala, and Acting Superintendent Mohammed Islam. This topic is definitely more boring than Ed D'Souza's $1.5 million over 3 years, and I think that's fantastic. That's money that he's bringing to the district that will not be coming out of our budget, that will definitely help us use the money in some other areas. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The governor proposed his budget. It came out mid-January, and so I'm just going to do some review of that budget. He talked about the California economy. It's improving. Employment is still a problem, and California is unfortunately still in the 5 states with the highest unemployment rate. It is declining, but it's slower than the rest of the nation. Personal income is forecast to grow at an accelerated rate over the next couple of years, but actual performance has fallen short. And the housing market's heating up in the coastal areas, but we're having a little bit trouble still here in the Inland Empire. But if you're a homeowner here, you know that your home values have been increasing, so that's a very good sign. The budget highlights, there's proposed funding to fully eliminate the inter-year K-12 deferrals. That's the money that maybe they owe us in February, and we get it in June, so we have a really difficult time paying our bills. Additional funding to continue the implementation of the local control funding formula. As you may recall, that funding formula is to be implemented over 7 years. Funds to support Prop 39 energy efficiency projects, and funds for a 0.86, less than 1% statutory cost of living adjustment for most categorical programs that remain outside of the local control funding formula. For our district, that's special education and child nutrition. What's not in the budget? No proposal for a statewide schools facilities bond, no additional funds for Common Core, which is unfortunate, no funding to address the CalSTRS unfunded liability, no new funding for special education needs and the shortfalls that we have in that program, no extra funding for early childhood education, and they're not going to do any pay-ups for the prior state mandates that they owe us for. One of the good things about the new budget is there's a complete mind shift on the way that that the funding will come and who determines how the funding is going to be used. So the old system, we had policy. The policy would be made, they would give us funding for it, there'd be a bunch of rules and regulations that we had to follow. The local board would implement those rules. The school sites were expected to perform, and then there was audits afterwards to see if they performed. The new empowerment model is a much better model, in my opinion, and most people's opinions. It starts with community involvement, and then the board sets the policy, the state provides the funding, the local board empowers the school sites, the results are reported to the public, and then the policy is revised. And the focus is on student learning and achievement. The local control accountability plan, the district has been working on this with the stakeholders. We had a community meeting last night at Rialto High School, invited the community. There's another meeting tomorrow at Carter High School at 6 p.m. So if anyone in the community would like to attend that meeting, please attend. We're looking for input from all our stakeholders. Our local control accountability plan is designed to implement the Common Core state standards, reduce the gap in student subgroups, improve student achievement, increase high school graduation rates, increase successful completion of the A through G requirements, AP and CTE courses, identify and address needs of disadvantaged students, and provide meaningful opportunity for parent involvement. And I know that Dr. Levine and her crew have been attending a lot of the parent meetings and will continue to do so. And when we get our plan or proposed plan together, we'll then take it back out to the community for their input. Also, there is a link on our district website on the front page for for community members, staff, anybody that wants to go on to make comments and suggestions regarding the plan. There's 8 areas of state priority. These are the 8 areas: student engagement, student outcomes, parent involvement, course access, implementation of the Common Core standards, student achievement, school climate, and basic services. So this is a review. It's a 3-year plan that we're creating. It sets goals and is approved by the board. It's updated annually, and it defines how the resources will be used. So when all of the goals are planned, then it comes to fiscal and we tie the dollars to it, and then there's a priority. The priorities are implemented as determined by the community and the school board. These are the 8 priorities that we just reviewed, and the local participation is vital in this plan. So we do want participation from all sectors of our stakeholders in the community. The local control funding formula for 14-15. The good news is the budget proposes $4.5 billion for continued implementation. And like I said earlier, that's a 7-year plan. The funding is estimated to close the gap where they say we're going to be in 7 years by 28.05%. That's a lot higher than what was proposed at the end of last year, so that's good news. The 14-15 growth provides an average increase to the per pupil funding by 10.9% or $751 per ADA, and each school district will have a unique number depending on the demographics. This is a quick review of how the LCFF funding comes to us. It's a distribution model. So there's a base grant. There's grade span adjustments. There's K3, and K3 is really money set aside for class size reduction, and we will be implementing class size reduction again. And 9 through 12 is really for career technical education for CTE. There's a supplemental grant and concentration grants. Those are based on free and reduced lunch numbers, our EL population, and foster youth. And then there's add-ons where we'll still continue to get our transportation money and our TIG money, our targeted instructional improvement money. And that'll be our total. This is our multi-year projection, and this is as of what we'll see at the next board meeting for our second interim report. As you can see, we have a beginning balance. If you look at unrestricted, I'd like to focus on that. The restricted money is really, a lot of it's going to be going away as the categorical programs have been folded into unrestricted local control funds. So we have a beginning balance. Our revenues, $171 million, expenditures, $181 million. And as you can see, we're still operating at a structural deficit of almost $10 million. And our ending fund balance is about $5 million. So that's for the projected for this year, and that'll change as we move towards the end of the school year. Our projected for 14-15, as you can see, our funding is going to increase. And at this point, if you look down at the bottom, you'll see a $14 million number. And I do want to stress that this money or these funds will be allocated through the local control accountability plan. Probably not all of them, but most of that money will be in supplemental and concentration grant and will be focused in the areas of EL students and free and reduced and foster youth. We will have to, of course, eliminate our deficit spending. As you can see, that happens for the first time in a really long time in our district in the 14-15 school year. And then if you look in 15-16, you can see under assigned LCFF, there's almost a $24 million number in there. That money is being set aside in case we're not funded by the state for that year of LCFF. If we are funded, then that money will be able to be used for district priorities based on our local control accountability plan. So as you can see, there is definitely some money coming to schools, for us to use for our students, and it's really nice to be up here giving you this information compared to the information that unfortunately we've had to give over the last 4 or 5 years. So does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. I know
Sure.
that there's focus on foster youth.
Correct.
Do we take into consideration, is there a category for homeless
We
students?
actually have the homeless and foster youth right now categorized together, and we have over 800 of those students in our district. 2.9% of our students are homeless or foster youth.
Okay, so we are taking them into account.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll move to C on our agenda, public comments. Comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on an item that is not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes to make a presentation. And please pay attention to the timer. Mohammed, Mr. Islam, do we have comments?
Yes, sir.
Not on the agenda.
You're correct. First person, Russell Silva.
Good evening, board members, administration, and viewing audience. My name is Russell Silva, and I'm a Rialto resident. Last night, I had the opportunity to attend the Rialto High School Theater meeting for the Local Control Accountability Plan, known as the LCAP. I would like to praise Acting Superintendent Mohammed Islam and Associate Superintendent of Educational Services, Dr. Susan Levine, for their informative and well-organized presentation. A lot of information was provided that explains the program in depth and how this plan is developed. We've all heard the phrase, "It takes a village to raise a child." Well, according to the information provided, it looks like we're moving in that direction. This plan not only includes but encourages parent and community participation, with the Common Core ramping up and to full gear, and the development of the LCAP. Parents will have a better opportunity to get more involved with the academic success of their children. Sharon Flores, the Director of Fiscal Services, mentioned some of this program, and I could tell you more, but I don't want to steal the thunder from Mr. Islam and Dr. Levine's presentation for tomorrow. But for those of you that missed the meeting yesterday, there will be a second one tomorrow on the 27th at 6 o'clock at the Carter High School Theater at 2630 North Linden Avenue. I encourage all parents in the community to attend. Your opinions matter, because the LCAP is designed to benefit the students of the Rialto School District, not Colton, not Fontana, not San Bernardino, but specifically to the students of Rialto. And it's time for this village to become more involved in raising the academic abilities and achievements of their children. Please attend. You will not be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Ron Fletcher.
Good evening, board and audience. The man before me stole a lot of my thunder. Because I come up here, I went to the LCAP meeting last night, and I want to invite the board members. They should be there to listen to the wonderful job that Dr. Levine and Mohammed Islam, David Culverhouse, Derek Harris, and Sharon did at the meeting last night, answering the questions. They had a lot of questions. A lot of people had gripes. Some people had suggestions. We all filled out a form, and from my understanding from Mr. Culverhouse, that information will be ran together so you guys can produce your LCAP, which is what you have to get the funding. Listen to concerns. There were several concerns that had to do with children being labeled Spanish speaking and not being changed, so things like that. But one highlight of the evening was a young African American student, spoke on a subject that's close to my wallet. He wanted to know why fundraisers at school were selling cheesecakes, candy, wrapping paper for $15 to $20 when his neighborhood could only afford $5. So I think, maybe we ought to have a direction or something so that schools can do that, because I've wondered that myself. Why are they selling candy? So they make $5 or $6 out of 15. That's not enough. Most people can't afford to buy that anymore. That's all I got to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Edward Jessonis. Am I saying right?
My name is Edward Chassonis. I'm a resident of Rialto. This is in reference of the last board meeting on February 12, 2014, referring to closing statements from a board member. Martinez, in your closing statement, you still insist on that the audits were uncalled for, and you are still insisting that they are a wasted expenditure cost for this district. I absolutely disagree with you. Your statements are flawed by, have you already forgotten about Judy Oak's case that it is still pending, and the district that she had worked in, and the recent FEMAC report findings? Are you not understanding what they mean? And you were one of the board members who had strongly opposed the request of an independent audit back in March 2013, insisting that it was too costly, and you had implied a fear that it could cost someone their job. Your arguments and actions begin raising questions about your true intentions and brings your true integrity into the light. Trust cannot be coerced or demanded. It can only be earned by being truthful and being consistent with your actions. To put it very simply, Martinez, it's your collective leadership that had placed this district as to where it stands today. The problems are bottlenecking because it's out of control. You have collectively lost control. Your past actions indicate it's beyond your ability to resolve. As a resident and taxpayer of Rialto, I do not have confidence in your leadership, nor would I trust you to pack my parachute.
Mr. Islam.
The next, Paula Bailey. Paula Bailey. I think she's in the back
here.
room.
She's
Okay,
here.
Thank you.
Wow, I haven't been up here in quite some time for anything but exciting news. Good evening, Mr. Islam, Acting Superintendent, and board members. I'm coming forward tonight with something I did not want to have to do in this forum after numerous attempts of trying to reach one of the board members and not receiving any response. I wanted to speak to this board member to give him the respect that he continuously portrays that he has for others. I've heard on numerous occasions that he's always here and willing to help in any way I can. I guess that doesn't include me. I'm confused. I'm a parent of the school district he was elected to support. I wanted to talk to him about how he needs to look at the difference between saying you're representing a district with the intention to make a positive difference and coming to a district and attacking the staff of a specific department without talking to the entire staff and offering support by asking them, how can I help? What do you need so that you can do what's right for the kids? You heard in the audit report and the state, you have said from the beginning you've seen this department needed help. But have you ever trusted the staff or given them any kind of support? I'm not saying this person is the only one that needs to look at the whole picture before they make any comments. But this person was the only one that has publicly criticized and put down this department. I am extremely proud of every single staff member that I've encountered. And I know they're doing the best job they can, and they will continue to do the best job they can. They just need the support and the trust of everyone from the board on down. And I would just appreciate that if, before anybody makes any comments or gestures towards any department, they think about the morale that that affects on the teachers, the students, the administrators. And instead of making those comments, say, how can I help? Thank you, and have a good night.
That's all.
That's all? All right, thank you. Are there any comments on agenda items, Mr. Mohammed?
None.
None? Thank you. We will move on. Okay. I lost my paper. On public hearing, I have it, okay. Because there was a correction for public hearing. We will move to open public hearing. May I get a motion?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we will open public hearing. And any comments? The two items on public hearing are the pursuant to the requirements of the government code and board policy to form for public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement AB 1200 statutes of 199, Chapter 1213, as revived by AB 2756 statutes of 2004, Chapter 25, Government Code 3547.5, between the California School Boards Association, Chapter Number 203, CSEA, and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education, is hereby posted for in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. And the second one, pursuant to the requirements of governmental code and board policy, the initial contact reopener proposal for the 2013-2014 school year submitted by the Communication Workers of America, CWA, for an agreement between Rialto Unified School District Board of Education and the Communication Workers of America, CWA, is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirement for public notice. Can I get a motion to close public hearing? No questions?
I believe we just need to make sure no one wants to comment on the public hearing before we close.
Right.
Any comments? May I have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. We need a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried. And the time is listed at 8:17. Now we will move to public information. Williams Settlement Legislation Quarterly Uniform Complaint Summary through October through December 2013. I don't know where that came from on our agenda. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a D 3.01.
It's under public information.
Yes.
Okay, we had two separate papers. I'm okay now. All right, now we will move to consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the acting superintendent for individual action. May I get a motion to approve consent calendar items reference E through J?
With the exception of J.
Excepting for J, what was it?
2.2.
2.2. Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and second. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent items?
Yes, 2 and 5.
Item 2,
Which letter?
2 and 5?
Second reading of the revised board policy.
No, I'm
on-
sorry, H2 and H5, I'm sorry.
H2. All right, Mrs. O'Kelly?
Yeah, on the contract, page 78, I would just like somebody to, this contract with Defined Learning for, it says, provides support for STEM education. I'd like a little more information about that if I could.
Dr. Levine, could you clarify this, please?
Sure. Defined STEM is a program that we'd like to purchase for every school in the district, and it is performance tasks that are lined up with the new testing in SBAC and also correlated to the Common Core standards. So basically, it's a library of activities, online video clips and activities that are around STEM topics. And it's a project-based learning, so within each one, there could be up to 20 projects on a topic that revolves around STEM. And it's a library of performance tasks, and we're planning on writing these activities into our new scope and sequence.
Okay, did the STEM teachers preview this and approve it?
The principals were all invited to demonstrations. They brought back a code, like a temporary login where they would be able to look around in the website with their teachers, and then they came back and decided that they would like it and were able to purchase it out of categorical funds.
Okay. My only concern is this, it all sounds hunky-dory and wonderful, but we cannot keep affording to purchase pricey computer programs without knowing that the teachers are actually going to use it. I mean, I think we've gone around this before, that they really need to, the teachers, the ones in the classroom with the kids, need to personally be the ones to say, yes, this looks...
The principals did bring back a code that they did share with their teachers to look at it. And it's a web-based program, and it's a supplemental program, and that's why it's being paid for out of categorical funds.
And is it once we own this program, we own it forever, or is this an annual charge?
What we agreed to do with the principals was that it would be financed out of the district for next year. So we're getting this year for free, actually, and next year. And at that time, the sites will make a decision as to whether they would like to continue it out of their budgets.
Okay, so if it hasn't been working for them, they haven't lost anything.
That's correct.
Okay. And the district hasn't, the district's getting it free for this year? It can't be getting it free.
For the
we're-
balance of this year. In other
Okay.
words, we purchased it for next year, but they threw this year in, so we could use it to write into our scope and sequence.
Well, that doesn't seem logical. If we purchased it already for next year, then we have it for next year, even if the school's sites say they don't want it.
No, we're purchasing it for next year, but the company has given us this year, after if it's board approved, then we'll also have access to it this year. But that is a one-year cost for all 28 sites.
Okay, but I would like to hear something back from the actual STEM teachers, especially at the high school level, where we actually have a STEM academy, as to whether this is going to benefit them or not.
I will bring you back a report.
Okay.
You had two.
Yeah. The other one was number H5.
Page 82.
And this is about the declaring the specified surplus equipment and miscellaneous items as obsolete and non-serviceable, which gives the district or the superintendent, I guess, the ability to sell them or dispose of them. We've done this several times in the last year, and every time I look at the chart, and I'm just amazed at the number of computers, monitors, laptops, and LCD projectors that are on this list of obsolete equipment. I didn't know we had that much in the district that we could afford to be throwing out. I don't know who determines that they're obsolete? I mean, who makes that determination? Who checks? I'm just a little disturbed by the number.
Yeah.
Because it amounts to hundreds every year.
Mr. Kelly, we have a due process when school side or department requests some computers are not working or they're obsolete. As you know, our district-wide, our technology, we're so far behind. When it comes to technology, we have a system that aren't working. We have a classroom computers is there, dysfunctional. So we are trying to gradually clean up this, and as we're moving forward with the Common Core and other things we need to implement, so we need to bring technology we need for our classrooms and district-wide use. So what you're seeing on the list, it goes through the process. Our IT department is the final check on the system, make sure it's operating, make sure it has a live to use for other purposes, perhaps not in the classroom, perhaps it could be used other offices or secretary. But I'm telling you, district-wide, our systems are well. Any computers or technology, we're behind. We're probably behind 10 years behind.
I'm aware of that, and I know we definitely need technology upgrades in order to continue. But I just want to make sure that somebody qualified is declaring them obsolete and unusable.
You're absolutely correct. Nobody can call for obsolete or call for surplus without going through our IT.
Okay.
And our IT have a log when they declare this, and then it goes to our purchasing before it comes to you on agenda. So we have a step we follow.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Kelly, for those observations. Are we ready to vote? Preferential vote by our student board member.
Aye.
Vote by board members.
Aye.
Aye.
Votes were 5 yes. All right. Discussion action items. Action items will be enacted in one motion unless members of the Board of Education request specific items to be discussed. We need to, I need a motion to approve items K1 through K9.
I'll make that motion, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
And I'll second it.
Thank you, Ms. Ayala. Are there any questions, any pulls?
Yes, K2 and K6.
K2 and K6. All right, Ms. O'Kelly.
And this is our annual financial audit of the district, correct? Isn't that the one that Voralnik or whatever their name was has done in the past? Are we changing companies, or because I don't recognize this name?
You're correct. Our previous audit firm was Beverly Grant and Day. To the embezzlement, further reviewing the working audit paper, I felt strongly that district need to change the audit firm.
Okay, how does the price of this firm compare with the previous one?
If I recall, the previous firm was about 48,000, so it's pretty. These are all
It's
they're
about the
pretty
same?
close. Yes.
Okay. And number 6, what kind?
Can I?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
I just want to say, I think it's a good idea to just do a 1-year contract with the annual financial auditor, as opposed to awarding a 3-year contract, which was previously done. It tends. I think it tends to keep the vendor or the consultant a little bit more,
Comfortable.
on point when they have a 1-year contract as opposed to a 3-year contract, and nobody can say, hey, well, they don't want to upset anyone and have their contract terminated a little bit early.
Yeah,
So,
Mr.
so I think that's a
Montes,
good idea.
I agree. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, and the fact that, and also the fact that, a lot of things weren't caught.
Right. They
also-
definitely need to be looking for red flags.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and please note that this is for 1 year.
It is a one-year
July
contract.
1st.
It's a 1 year with the option to renew. So the
Okay.
option, leaving it open, if district did not see that they perform well, we can terminate the contract, yes.
Okay. Okay, number 6. What kind of summer school are we providing this year?
Well,
Dr. Levin?
yes, thank you. Based on data from last year, we found that not every student was well-suited for the complete online program. And we did lose some students, especially in PE, to the local charter schools. And so we're going to run some programs more traditional with seat time, especially for some of the older students, because we have an issue with the online courses in A through G with Cal State UC. And so up till this year, principals were able to certify that the online courses they were providing are Cal State or UC A through G approved. But they took that away from us now, and now the course and the company has to be submitted under our title to be approved. So for example, there used to be an online learning called Play-Doh that many people know. It has a new name now, but they can go and get their course A through G approved, but we have to do it as well.
Okay.
Now, we can't put in for courses until February, and we're not assured 100% that Cal State or UC would accept that class. So we don't want any of our students to be at risk of not having an A through G course. They've pretty much assured us that it would be retroactive, but we can't take any chances when it comes to our students. So we're going to have some blended models, and that's still in the planning stages. So some students will take online classes, some will have online and seat time, and some will have seat time, depending on what the subject is and what grade they're in.
Okay, a lot of students might sign up for online thinking that sounds really cool to sit home and do it online, but they're not, like you said, they're not suited for it. Is there some way to catch that early on where we can put them into a seat so they don't miss out?
We're going to work with the counselors. There's already a sign up for summer school with the counselors, a Google document that they're keeping so they could look at it, and we're going to use the input from the counselors.
And I might suggest that, in my own opinion,
Please.
it might be very difficult for most kids to to be successful with online math classes.
Actually, the math was pretty well
Was it?
done because
Okay.
they've already sat through the class. And a lot of students aren't passing because they may not have done projects or participated or flunked tests because they didn't study. So they were pretty successful because they were repeating, but certain courses like health was difficult online, so was PE. And so we're still sorting that out. So we made adjustments. We evaluated how it went last summer, and we decided to tweak it to better suit our students.
And is the seat time all going to be at one high school?
Yes.
Okay.
And more than likely, it will be at Rialto High School this summer. Eisenhower will have no power, and because they're getting their electrical upgrade.
Well, no air conditioning for Eisenhower is the norm.
Oh, gee.
All right. Any other questions, comments? We're ready to vote on action items. All board members, can I get them all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5, unanimous vote. Motion is carried. Now we'll move to item L, comments from the acting superintendent. Mr. Islam, do you have comments?
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. Once again, I'd like to remind everyone here tonight and invite everybody tomorrow. We have Carter High School, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to discuss about LCAP. Again, your input is critical. As a parents, as a community members, as a staff, please come to the meeting, and we will discuss the information which we covered last night. We're going to do the same thing again, Carter High School. Please be there, and we like your input to establish the goal, and board eventually at the end board is going to adopt those plan and the goal for improve our student achievement. That's the bottom line, our student achievement. Thank you.
How late do you expect the meeting to last?
We don't have end time. We have beginning at 6 o'clock. It can last.
I
We're
know,
there.
it's just I can't be there at 6, but I want to come, so.
Yeah, we will be there as long as the community wants us to be
Okay.
there.
All right.
All right, now we will start with comments from the board, and we will start with Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President Gilbert. I want to thank the public as they, ID'd themselves as the public. I know they work here, not a problem. One thing I really appreciate is you're being able to speak your mind. That is so important. And there's no retaliation on my part at all. I take it to heart, and it's one of those things where, as a CSEA member, a former CSEA member, I know how hard it is in many districts to get members to speak up, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ayala.
Thank you, President Gilbert. I was thinking what I wanted to say, and I think back to being at California School Boards Association, and one of the messages they gave a couple years ago was it was very important for school districts and communities to come together, and we're doing this. We're doing this with examples of the local control funding, the LCAP. What they were saying, though, was with one word, was a summary, and that word was permission. And whatever decisions we make, you need to get permission from each other. People need to come to the table. They need to be invited, be given opportunities to share their opinions, and we call this the stakeholders meetings. And since I've been on this board, I've seen nothing but support for the kids. I've seen parents relentless with their concerns. And it's very evident, and you deserve the best. And as we move forward, come out of the fog, we will come back together. We're going to find ways to move this district in a positive way, and I'm confident with this board here that we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. Now we'll move down to Micah.
Just a few short things. I would like to cordially invite our the board and Mr. Islam to our DSAC Cesar Chavez Service Appreciation Luncheon. I believe it is March 12th in the West Wing. I believe that's the West Wing. Okay. Ms. Joffrey secured our keynote speaker from Cesar Chavez for the Cesar Chavez luncheon. The speaker from the namesake of Garcia Elementary School, Dr. Ernest Garcia. Many people don't know that Mr. Garcia did a lot for our English language learner students, and that he actually walked with Mr. Cesar Chavez himself. We'll be taking a look at some of the pictures of him and Cesar Chavez walking together, and we look forward to honoring our staff members as well that we selected to be honored. Our DSAC students selected to be honored that day. Also, I would like to thank, I forgot.
Sure.
I would also like to thank the Parent Institute for this past weekend, the Parent Institute, as well as Mrs. Robin McIver Brown for the Black College Expo trip that we took at for all schools, I believe. It was a great opportunity for us kids to get a look at the HBCU programs that they have and the opportunities that were available for us there. Getting accepted on the spot is always a great thing, I think. So it was available to every student. You don't have to be African American to have gone, but it was majority African American. The the schools there, they were very good schools. There was Howard there, and they had many other schools, not just the HBCUs. They had Harvard, as well as UC Berkeley, as well as UC Davis. Most of the UCs were there. Cal States were there. Just being accepted on the spot as an opportunity to us kids with just our transcripts and our SAT and our ACT scores was, I believe, a great accomplishment for us as a district. It's the 5th year doing it, so if you missed your opportunity last year, there's always next year, I hope. I believe that is it, yeah.
All right, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the College Expo. That was great. It's a wonderful experience for our students to see all the colleges there to represent, and they get to ask questions and get a little bit of feel of college life. Thank you. Ms. O'Kelly.
Well, before I start with this, I'd like to expand on that. We used to have phenomenal college and career fairs in this district also. And just in general, I have not heard about that for a couple, 3 years. I
That's
don't
true.
even know when the last one was. That's definitely something we need annually. And we can hold it centrally at one high school or something, but just, I mean, we used to get colleges from all over the country, and it's marvelous. Like Micah said, the kids need to talk to these people, and hopefully some of them will get accepted on the spot, and that's really cool. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. And I want to tell you that we really do deeply appreciate your extreme patience and understanding while we are going through this process that we have been going through. Things don't happen as quickly as we would like, and you just need to know that we're not wasting time. We're working hard, and things are going to be solved very soon. I want to say that I had a wonderful time at the Black History Celebration sponsored by the RUSD, Curtis T. Winton Parent Institute, and the High School African American Advisory Councils. It was held at Eisenhower High School this past Sunday and in the cafeteria, and the cafeteria was packed. It included outstanding performances, dance performances. The Eisenhower Jazz Band played. That was outstanding, and an absolutely stunning fashion show of African attire. Great speeches. It was really a fantastic time, and so I'm sure this is going to be an annual event as well, and another one that everyone should consider attending. And I want to also say how exciting it is. One of the best parts of my day is when I go to visit our schools and see the excellent learning activities, see the kids, and I see the teachers, and I miss it, and it's just, it's what makes my day. In the last couple of weeks, I have visited Garcia, Morris, Eubanks, Trapp, Fitzgerald, and Henry. I want to thank the principals of those schools and their staffs for their warm welcome and their hospitality during my visits. They make me feel like a VIP. And I'm looking forward to this Friday participating in Myers Elementary School, the celebration of Dr. Seuss's birthday for Read Across America Day. So that's a lot of fun, too, to go and read to the children. So I've been busy and having a great time, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Kelly. Mr. Montes.
Thank you, Board President, Mrs. Joanne Gilbert. Good evening, buenas noches. I just want to thank Mrs. O'Kelly for not letting me be the only board member that does school site visits. It's a real honor to go to the schools and meet with the principals and meet the staff and see the schools operating during school hours. What better way to see how the schools are running and how things are going than to be there while it's happening. Also, I too will be going to Myers again this year for Read Across America. So I'll see you there again.
Are you going to wear your Dr. Seuss hat?
I'm planning on looking like some of the people that dressed up last year in the full suit with the big feet and everything.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say I want to also congratulate all the classified school employees of the year that were awarded tonight. I think it's a great program here at the district, to highlight these individuals. And I want to thank the personnel department for leading the recognition process. I do want to congratulate again Dr. D'Souza. I don't think we can thank that man enough for everything he does for this district and for bringing in that $1.5 million grant. And it's a $1.5 million science grant. And speaking of a science grant, let's not forget to congratulate the winners, the student winners of the RUSD 2014 Science Fair. They recently held their award ceremony and Thursday, I believe, February 20th, and they were recognized. And the students that were from grades 4 through 12, they'll be going on to advance to the RIMS Inland Science and Engineering Fair, and that'll be held April 1st of 2014 at the National Orange Show. So let's wish them luck. And also want to thank all the staff members that have helped them through the process and make science interesting for our students. I would like to make a statement because I think it's important for the community to know sometimes what board members are thinking or where board members stand on certain issues. And obviously we've been dealing with some things for quite some time now, but I feel an obligation to speak my mind every now and then, and I plan on doing that tonight. For 3 years, ever since I've been a board member, I've always said that when we need to hold people accountable, we need to do it, because if we don't, it sets an example. It sets an example. It sets precedent that we don't do anything when people do wrong, or maybe we do when some do it, but not when others do wrong. So I just want to say that if a teacher does wrong, we take action. We hold them accountable. If a classified employee does wrong, we hold them accountable. Well, the same should be held for all district employees. There should be no exceptions. Even people at the highest levels of administration should be held accountable. Not just the people at the bottom. Everyone, even board members, should be held accountable if we have reason to be held accountable. So as we go through this process, I'm not going to be one to give in to this or give in to that if it's not for what's right. So with that said, I truly believe that this board will do what's best moving forward. But I want to say how I feel and where I stand. And I say if we hold the bottom ones accountable, we need to hold the top ones accountable too.
Are you done, Mr. Montes?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to follow Mr. Montes and let you know that we are working together to solve this issue. And you are not the only one that attends schools. And I was at Henry last week. Mrs. Valenzuela saw me there. We do attend, I don't announce it all the time, and Ms. O'Kelly and I were sort of following in each other's footsteps over the weekend. I too attended Eisenhower, and as she said, I echo all the sentiments that she said. It was an excellent program. And I want to thank all the children who participated. And Eisenhower's jazz band is fantastic. So kudos to them and everyone who participated. It was an excellent program, and I too wish to see it again next year. And I see one of the Mr. Joseph Williams is in our audience. He's trustee for Valley College, and he was the MC at the program. So we thank you for attending, Mr. Williams, and come and join our board meetings again. I want to say something about the LCAP. I plan to attend tomorrow at Carter High School, but sometimes people forget to, we invite our parents, but we need to invite our seniors also. They live in the city and they need to know what's going on in the city and what's going on with our schools. And a lot of times, grandparents are the ones that are raising our children. But, you know, when we say parents, sometimes they don't realize that we're talking about them, and we need to get our seniors engaged in the process of understanding what LCAP means. So I want to encourage our listening seniors in our audience to try to make one of these meetings. And again, Mr. Montez, I'm going to Dunn for Read Across America. So we all participate when we are asked and when we can. And with that, I will close with, those are my closing thoughts for this evening. Now, because we are going back into closed session, we will adjourn this meeting, and then we will move back into closed session. So may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second.
Preferential vote.
Preferential vote by our student board member.
Aye.
Board members?
Aye.
Motion is carried. This meeting is adjourned at 8:50. Thank you. The Rialto Board of Education will reconvene at 9:48. Based on the decision in closed session, the following item is being pulled from page reference J 2.2 of the February 26, 2014 board agenda.
It was pulled.
It
Now
was
we're-
pulled.
Now we're putting it back.
Yes. Request to have Rosemary Valdez, lead nutrition service worker, Werner Elementary, be placed on a 39-month reemployment list. We need a motion to approve. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Martinez, second.
We're approving the rest of the page, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. All other items are on page J 2.2. Thank you. Mr. Islam will report on further things taken in closed session.
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. In resolution number 13-14-49, in closed session, the board took action to dismiss employee number 1491224, administrative secretary 1, effective February 26, 2014, and directed the superintendent or designee to send out notification to the employee regarding the board actions. The roll call vote was 5-0. Resolution number 13-14-38. In closed session, the board took action to issue notices to 4 resource specialists, 1 ROTC instructor, 1 speech therapist, that they shall not be reemployed for the 2014-15 school year. The roll call vote was 5-0. Resolution number 13-14-37. In closed session, the board took action to issue notices to 2 coordinators, professional development, 1 program specialist, 1 high school assistant principal, 1 senior director secondary education, 1 director special program and education technology, and 2 elementary principals, that they shall be released from their administrative positions and reassigned and or have their salary reduced effective at the end of the 2013-14 school year. The roll call vote was 5-0. Next. In closed session, the board took actions, Board of Education approved the request for an extension of a leave of absence for classified employee number 1877524, effective January 28, 2014 through June 1st, 2014. The roll call board was 5-0. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Islam. Are there any comments from any other board members? May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Ayala and Mr. Montez. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.